Hello, my fellow journalers. It's Kaitlin. Welcome back to another cozy journaling video. Today, I'm going to be setting up my bullet journal for August, and I'm going to be sharing with you my minimalistic collage monthly setup. So jumping right into the video, I'm starting first with my August cover page. And this is where I decided to get a little more creative and add some collage work to my journal, as well as a little bit of hand lettering. So the decision to do this was kind of out of the interest to actually use my stationery collection instead of just watching the washi tape accumulate and me staring at it but never using it. And I decided that maybe a good way to start to use what I have a little better would be to incorporate some stickers and washi tape and stamps in a fun little cover page in my bullet journal. So that is what I decided to do this month. I am starting off by lettering the abbreviated title of the month for August, and I'm just doing this with my current favorite Sepia brush pen. This is the Pilot Masake brush pen in the extra fine size. So this guy is quite similar to the Tombow Funosuke hardtip, if you're familiar with that one, but instead of black, this pen comes in a really nice warm brown, which I really like to use in my journal. You guys know, I have a bit of an aversion to black ink. So after creating my title, then I started to have a little fun with the collaging, and a couple things helped me figure out and create a collage that I liked. I actually don't consider myself to be very good at collage. It's something that I wish I was good at, but don't necessarily consider myself to be the best at. And I used a couple techniques to make this spread turn out in a way that I actually really liked, so I thought I'd share that with you as I'm creating this spread. So the first thing that I did that helped my collage be really cohesive was I tried to stick to a color theme. So for August, I decided to use mostly kind of yellows and ochres and a bit of brown, just because I thought that kind of reflected the final month of summer that we have left here in Canada. And I found that by sticking to kind of one main color, that made it a lot easier to pick out supplies and not get overwhelmed, but also allow the collage to be a little more cohesive in the end. The second thing I did was I actually went ahead and kind of arranged my collage before I committed to sticking anything down with permanent adhesive. So I used things like washi tape that I could put down and then remove again if I wanted to, as well as sticky notes so that I could kind of get a visual of how the collage looked, so that I could see what it would look like and decide if I would be happy with it before I committed to doing any permanent stamping or gluing on the page. And I found that really helped me in this kind of collage process, because then I was able to kind of see how the collage would be turning out before committing to anything permanent. So I'm just going in here and adding a couple final touches, a couple of my favorite star stamps, which are actually part of an alphabet stamp set, but I will admit I do use the star stamps much more than any of the alphabet stamps. But I just wanted to add a little bit of twinkliness over the August title before finishing up this spread. After my cover page, I am flipping over to the next spread and setting up my monthly log. This month I decided to really streamline my monthly log and really cut down on the number of pages, so it only included things that I really needed for the month. And after I cut down, I ended up only needing these 2 spreads for my monthly log, which I really liked because now I can look at my monthly log and see everything at a glance over these 2 pages, which I think will be really helpful when trying to get an overview of the month. So to start with my monthly log, I am creating my monthly calendar on the left-hand side. This acts as a space for me to write down the birthdays I have in the month, and since I use a digital calendar for kind of looking ahead at future appointments, I like to use this calendar as a space to write down kind of the monthly timeline of how things occurred during the month. So I'm usually updating this calendar after the fact, either at the end of each week, adding kind of details and highlights, or at the end of each month if I'm really busy and haven't had any time to do it until then. So I just keep it really simple. I do a small calendar at the top so I can see that overview of the month, and then underneath is where all of my events and birthdays go. Once I finished my calendar, I'm going ahead and setting up my focuses and task list on the opposite page. And this task list is in the style of the Alistair method. I will make a future video updating it, but for now, this is what that looks like. So those are the 2 pages that I'm setting up for my monthly log. As I said before, I really simplified and just wanted to include the things I really needed in my monthly log this month. So I'm kind of excited that both of my monthly spreads are just on 2 facing pages so that I can just open up my journal and see a nice overview of the month at once. But moving on from the monthly log, now let's go into my rolling weeklies. So I like to set these up right after my monthly log because at this point I've been using my rolling weeklies for about, I would say 1 to 2 years. So I definitely know at the beginning of each month that I'm going to be using these. So I just prefer to set them all up at once while I'm having a nice kind of journaling session at the beginning of the month, and then I don't have to worry about creating them during my generally busier weekends during the month. So for my rolling weekly, I like to keep it pretty simple. As per most of my spreads, I just have 1 page for each week of the month, and I denote each week by writing the week number at the top with my brush pen and just adding week above that in gel pen. And then below that, I like to go in and write my focuses of the week. Usually I have 1 to 3 of them, so I just give myself space for 3. And then below that, I write down my weekly task list. This is exactly the same as my monthly task list. It's an Alistair method task list, so instead of having a column for each week of the month, I instead have a column for each day of the week, so I can go ahead and schedule in my to-do list items beforehand, so I can just have a little bit more of an organized approach to planning my week. I also like to add a small dot beside the days of the week just to have space for those to-do list items that may not need to happen on a specific day. And I forgot to do it here, but underneath the dates of the week, I also add Monday through Sunday underneath the corresponding day, but I forgot to do that in this video. It completely slipped my mind, so I just went in after I finished filming and added that in. So with week 34 being done, that is all of the spreads I set up for the beginning of August. Right after my rolling weeklies, I go in and set up my daily logs, which I like to do so that I have one day per page. And then I also this month I'm just going to be adding in my collections as I need them. Previously I've had a dedicated notes page, but I decided to scrap that this month and just keep it really easy and add collections as I need them and as they come up. So here is another flip through of all the spreads I created for the beginning of August, starting with that cover page that I really love how it turned out. The yellow just really screams summer to me, and I really like how this kind of collaging direction is going, so I can't wait to see what happens for September. And then after that, all of the super functional spreads I need to stay organized for the month. So that was the August plan with me. I hope you enjoyed seeing how I got organized for the month. And let me know how you got organized for the month. Did you change anything in your journal this month, or did you stay the same and just kept things consistent? Let me know below. And besides that, thank you so much for watching again. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye everyone.